All right, so again, this problem is not factorable. So we're going to have the factors of the constant, and then our leading factors of our leading coefficient, list of possible answers, and then any actual answers. So by the time we're done, we need to have 4 answers. Okay? So factors of our constant will be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. And then our leading coefficient will be 1 and 2. So for the list of possibilities, so again, I'm going to take each one of these numbers and divide it by 1. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. And then now we're going to go back and divide by 2. So 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we don't need to rewrite that. And then we will have 3/2. And then 6 over 2 is 3, so we don't need to worry about writing that. And then we'll have 9/2. And then 18 divided by 2 is 9, so we don't need to write that one either. And then we're using our graphing calculator, so y equals, clear what's there. We're going to type in our equation. So 2x to the 4th minus 5x cubed plus 20x squared minus 45x plus 18. So zoom 6 to graph. All right, so it's crossing twice. So I'm going to adjust my window here. So let's go make it -5 to 5 again, just to make it a little bit easier to see. All right, so it looks like it's crossing between 0 and 1, and then maybe at 2. So I'm going to try 2 first. So trace 2, enter. All right, so we got 0, so 2 is an answer. And then because it's crossing a second time, we need to find a second answer. And it's crossing between 0 and 1, so I'm only going to test the fractions. So let's see. So let's start with 1/2 here. So trace 1 divided by 2, enter. Oh, and we found it right away. So 1/2 is our second answer. Okay. Now this time, since we have 2 rational answers, that means that we're going to do 2 synthetic division problems. So we just pick one to start with, so I'm going to choose the 2. And then we're dividing it into this. So 2, -5, 20, -45, 18. So this will be 2, multiply to get 4, add to get -1, multiply to get -2, add to get 18, multiply to get 36, add to get -9, multiply to get -18, add to get 0. So this is my remainder, so I'm actually going to cross this off, and then we're going to do our second division problem to our answer here. So 1/2 goes in our box, and then we're going to divide again, except for the remainder. We're not going to include that. So the 2 comes down, multiply 1/2 by 2 to get 1, add to get 0, multiply to get 0, add to get 18, and then 1/2 times 18 is 9, add to get 0. So this is the remainder, the constant, the x, and the x squared term. So now we need to solve 2x squared plus 18 equals 0. So for this one, we can just subtract the 18. So that'll be 2x squared equals -18. Divide by 2. So x squared equals -9. And then we can take the square root of each side. So x equals, the square root of 9 is 3, so we'll have plus and minus 3. And then because it's negative, we need that I. So again, that represents 2 answers. And we need a total of 4. So the other 2 are the rational answers that we found using our calculator. So 2 is also an answer, and 1/2 is an answer. So these represent all 4 solutions to that problem. And that is going to conclude the lesson as well as the unit.